Hi guys, Amos Yee is in the news again and there's a good chance that he'll be deported back to Singapore. Most people are telling Uncle Sam to keep him or deport him elsewhere, but who wants to take in a pedophile? Amos Yee first got into trouble with the law in 2015 when he was just 16 years old. He made a video blatantly celebrating Lee Kuan Yew's death. Now, in the same video, he also insulted Christians, showed obscene images, used threatening and abusive language, and it's for the latter offences that he was arrested and charged. He was then sentenced to 4 weeks in jail, but by then he had already been in remand for 50 days. He was again arrested in 2016 when he made more videos insulting Islam and Christianity and was sentenced to another 6 weeks in prison. Rather harsh considering the fact that he was just a very annoying teenager. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, it's easy to say that he deserved it, but back then, Amos was just a teenager and some, including Christians whom he had insulted, believed that given the correct guidance and treatment, he could have been reformed to be an asset instead of a menace to society. But then, Singapore society was split into one group that condemned him to the eternal fires of hell and another group that believed in him. Anyway, Amos Yee fled to the US after his prison term and sought political asylum there. He was aided by activist Melissa Chen and our good old Reform Party man, KJ. Now let's run through the timeline for his incarceration in the US. In late 2021, he pleaded guilty to 2 charges of child grooming and child pornography in exchange for a 6-year prison sentence and having 16 other charges dropped. Amos Yee was released on parole on the 7th of October 2023 and he moved into a shared housing facility with other sex offenders. On the 23rd of October, Amos Yee made a blog post reiterating his support for pedophilia and detailing his experiences in prison, and under parole, he showed no remorse and every intention to re-offend. On the 5th of November, Amos Yee made a second blog post audaciously declaring his intention to popularize defending pedophiles and illegal public protests. He was then re-arrested for violating parole conditions and had been transferred to the maximum security Stateville Correctional Center in Crest Hill, Illinois. Now, his next projected parole date was just a few weeks ago, 7th of November 2025, but he was immediately detained on the day of his release after violating parole conditions. Next destination, Changi. This Changi. Now, does Amos Yee still have sympathizers or supporters back home, or when even Melissa Chen had declared publicly that she regretted helping him seek political asylum in the US? Well, Prof. Taking Soon had this to say, I quote, "Poor Amos Yee, a gutsy and intelligent young man but lacking broader knowledge, trapped in anger and perversity. This is the danger of unguided, youthful, obstinate energy. If parental guidance failed, what can be done? If kindness and understanding towards him also fails, what is appropriate? In ancient tribal societies, how did they deal with such cases, which they must have also come across? I think they banished such persons to learn through hardship, in which their creative energy and anger had no choice but be directed to surviving or die trying. His return to the tribe is not easy. Hopefully, his unique survival skills and his remorse may allow him to return." Unquote. Now, not surprisingly, quite a number of people took issue with Prof. Tay's remarks. Now, let me read you the most cogent yet sedate one, coming from Jasmine Daniel. Quote, "The operative word in your description is man. He is no longer the child whose conduct outraged Christians. I'm not one of those outraged Christians. Neither my belief nor my Creator is so feeble to fall like a pack of cards over a child's crude cartoons. I was looking out for my office at the mayhem of about 100 reporters jostling, running after him, walking out of the subordinate courts and thinking to myself, when journalists become reporters, and feeling sorry for the boy and his mother who was with him then. As a lawyer, I was feeling outraged because a jail term and those reporters is not the way to deal with a child spewing profanities, even if against religious icons. However, once in America, he was free to reset everything. It appears he didn't even try. What he did as an adult. So please don't justify his current circumstances by referring to his intelligence or his anger or whatnot. It was not theft or graffiti. This is a sexual predator. He didn't choose an adult but a 14-year-old child, younger than when the law unfolded against him in SG. He should know the fallout of trauma on a young mind and soul, yet he was willing and did perpetrate the same horror on another child. So your sympathies are misplaced, Prof. You are wrong on this one, Prof. Totally wrong. Unquote. So what's my take? Truth be told, I had sympathy for him when he was punished for her wounding religious feelings, but I remember he did a video in America pathetically justifying pedophilia and debating with a number of influencers who disagreed with him. It seemed like he had no intention to hurt, but his justification of sex with minors will never cut it with parents in any society. His beliefs are dangerous and he must be closely watched. He's not just a pedophile, he's fighting for the legalization of pedophilia. It's too late now, but could we as a society have done something to stop him from turning into a monster? Prof. Tay suggested banishing him to let him learn through hardship. That didn't work, did it? Just to be fair to Prof. Tay, I do think it's a pity that we've lost a talented young person. We need to keep our minds open that not everyone who behaves like a 16-year-old Amos Yee would turn into a 27-year-old pedophile. Let's not jump to conclusions next time a precocious, rebellious Singaporean teenager goes on YouTube. Only non-conformists can bring about major breakthroughs. Not every criminal or drug addict is destined for greatness, but let's not go all out to ruin the budding geniuses just because they are badly behaved. We can lock them up and throw away the key, but only after they have demonstrated no redeeming qualities. Latest update, Amos Yee is now in the custody of the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. This means that he's very likely to be deported.